salespeople and curiosity. When I say curiosity is important for salespeople, some people think like, yeah, it should be, or it's not that big a deal. But in fact, it is, because oftentimes we're only curious to the extent as salespeople that it leads us to something we want to sell, and then we stop. And what we say when we work with salespeople is we want you to be authentically curious and wildly curious, and look for things that nobody else is noticing. So there are reasons that we actually don't pick up a lot of details. For example, we're all crazy busy. We're distracted by our technology, so we miss things. We are wired to generalize, so we can move quickly and don't pick up the details. And then there's something called motivational bias, which means I'm biased to see the world through how I'm motivated or interested. So we miss all sorts of things. And when we start to pay attention and notice, we pick up all sorts of things that are interesting. So when we teach people to be curious, it's not only the mindset of curiosity, but we say, look for surprises, meaning things that you're like, that's interesting. Look for things that people care about, meaning where is their value? What are people doing that suggests that they really care about this? And also any hacks or workarounds. So that what are people doing to get around a system? So one of the things that Sachin noticed when he went to Bolt Bus was that the bus drivers are supposed to scan people's tickets with an iPhone or some kind of technology. But it takes too long when there's a long line of passengers. So instead, they print out a list of names, and then they just check things off, and then they do the system later. But that's an example of a hack, because somehow that system doesn't work. So that gives you all sorts of really interesting data that you can work with in your conversation with your client, or maybe you have a solution that can start to support that. So there's all sorts of ways to be curious, and that's what we're talking about when we say be curious in your sales discovery process.